Hey everyone, I'm in beautiful California with two of the most beautiful people I've ever met. Sal and Lena. I met you guys, maybe 9 months ago?
Yeah.
And came and hung out here. Shay and I were here and got to know you guys. And truly, for months, I've thought about how cool that visit was.
Aww.
Of just such amazing people you guys are. And in this vlog, I want to talk a little bit about co-parenting.
Well, you won us over, I just have to say.
Absolutely.
That was pretty epic.
We haven't stopped talking
I
about
was
you.
just like, wow, this guy.
Yeah. So
Something.
sometimes you just meet really cool people that you connect with.
Yeah, definitely.
What really stood out to me, amongst a million other things, but just what you guys have accomplished with co-parenting. And I look at the dynamic that you guys have and the way you guys work together. And I know it's something that didn't happen overnight. And there's even things that I relate to with co-parenting. But at this point, tell me about your situation. And then we'll talk about how we got there. But where are we at right now?
Sure, yeah. Well, we co-parent,
You're fine.
Getting interrupted. Yes.
When you're co-parenting, there's kids to parent.
So Lena and I were both, formerly Mormon, and we were married to men, and we had children with them, and then we got divorced from the men and got together. So we co-parent with each other, and we co-parent with both of our former husbands. So there's a lot of co-parenting going on.
Yeah, for sure. We've been at this for 6 years, and it's been a slow roll, lots of development over time.
Yeah.
And I will say that, the best part about all of it is just enjoying the kids as much as we can and recognizing that they didn't choose divorce. And so we want them to feel the least amount of, rupture as possible.
Yeah.
Over the years.
When Jamie and I first separated, we actually had a child custody evaluator that was brilliant. But one thing she talked about, she said, when you have divorce situations, it's hard on kids. And there's an increased chance of drug use, teen pregnancy, all of these risks that happen. But she said, if you take one factor, and you change that one thing, the kids do just as well, whether their parents are together or not. And it was the friction between parents.
Yep.
If you can make it to where they know you're a team, at least as co-parents, how much that helps their world.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm so thankful that I knew that going into it. Somebody told me that. My friend who is a divorce mediator actually told me that. And it really became the core mantra that I would have throughout the whole process. And as long as I came back to that, this is about the kids and this is what will help the kids, it allowed me to really ground myself and not get caught up in my own emotions of hurt and pain and, maybe the drama that could easily happen. I was able to recognize that and avoid it for the most part. And that's been amazing.
And we're talking about that, putting, I had to learn to put my feelings aside sometimes completely and just, okay, my feelings have to be out of this.
Yeah.
Because it really does come down to the kids.
Yeah.
And one thing I just watching your process, so they're in a Hulu documentary called Mormon No More. I've seen it twice, all the way through.
Thank
so
you.
good.
Thank you.
But in that, I watched just certain things you went through, even with co-parenting. The first time that you met together with Shayden, who's your co-parent.
Yeah.
And you talked about it was uncomfortable, but talk to us about that process and how that helped, I guess, get things going in a more positive direction.
I think I had an idea of what I wanted it to be. When I realized I was gay, I had a really romanticized idea of what I thought my life could look like with Shane and Lena and all the kids. And I wanted us to be one big happy family, but what I realized is that it's not the same for everybody, and sometimes people have different processes and different timing, and really I wasn't in control of that for Shane, and that's okay. And I needed to really lean into accepting what is, and to know that my decisions are what's best for me, and therefore they are what's best for everyone. And sometimes I would question that along the process and question myself because it seemed so difficult. But then, after probably 2 years, Shane decided, he had gone through whatever he needed to go through. 3 years? Was it?
3 years.
Okay.
So it takes time.
Yeah. to start to rebuild a relationship between he and I, and start to hang out with the kids together, and the kids also with Lena and the other kids and Paul. And so it was funny though, because the timing was almost really quickly after I finally decided to let go of what I thought was the ideal, or what the dream romantic version of what I thought. And that's when things started to shift, when I just accepted what is and didn't shut my heart off, or my like soul off to whatever possibilities that there could be, but I was accepting what is. And that really was the only thing that brought me peace in the process of getting to that point. And I can't speak for Shane, but he's the only other person that is the biological parent of my children, and he's the only one that I can connect to in that way. Even Lena, she loves my kids, but she's not their biological parent. So there's something that Shane and I have that nobody else in the world has with us. And so it's a strange new relationship that kind of nobody gives you the guidebook for. And so it's like the wild, wild west, and you love these kids so fiercely, right?
It's interesting because it's a new relationship, often with someone that you've had a lot of history with.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's brand new, it's a different dynamic. And I definitely relate to that. As far as acceptance, it did take time for things to heal with Jamie and I. And I just but I found the more I accepted things, in fact, I even started just to put my energy more into, what I would like. Again, not needing it to be a certain way.
Yeah.
I think with acceptance, you can be like, okay, I would like it to be this way, but if we get into the game of, okay, I'll be happy when it looks like this. And I'll be able to work with this person when this happens. But even in that, I just started to just put a little bit more into what was going well, what was positive. And I even started to just friends and family, you're going through divorce. And sometimes there's times to vent to people you love and go through things. But I even started to do less of that. Because when my family got involved, they love me and they feel for me. And all of a sudden they're talking to me and it's scoring points in a direction that I don't want to head.
Yep.
And so you talked about all of a sudden you got this acceptance, but you did see a shift. And you don't know what it looks like. You can't control that. But no matter what, acceptance works no matter what happens. And it's such a powerful thing.
Yep. It really is.
It's been a good morning so far. Just one of those mornings where I've got 3 errands done, just a lot of stuff done. Just getting crud done. Always feels good. I pick up the kids later today. Dinner's all planned out. I want to take a quick minute to thank a sponsor of Let's Go Father. They've been sponsoring me throughout the year, Hungry Root. And I'm grateful because tonight I know what I'm eating. We're going to make some cilantro chicken lime salad, something like that. That's the next recipe I'm doing. Last night, Melissa and I made some street carnitas avocado tacos. They were so good. Not familiar with Hungry Root, basically what you do is you go on the website, you let them know your dietary preferences, things that you like to eat, if you have diet restrictions, all of that. They do the shopping for you. They fill up a box of food. It comes to your door. It has everything it needs. It also includes recipes that can be made in about 15 minutes. Last night's recipe took closer to 10. It was so easy and so delicious. Right now, if you want to try Hungry Root, they have a special offer for you, for my audience. You'll get 40% off your first box, plus a free item in every box for the life of your subscription, which is really, really cool. So I love this company. They make my life so much more simple with everything I have in my life. It's nice, especially when I have the kids, to know dinner's already planned out. I didn't have to plan it. I didn't have to shop for it. It just came to me and I can just put it together. So again, there's a link in the video description. You can check it out. You get 40% off the first box. Go to hungryroot.com and use promo code FATHER, or just click the link that I put there in the video description. And a huge thanks to Hungry Root for partnering this channel and for making my life easier.
I think there was a moment too when that happened for her. I remember probably a year and a half, 2 years in, where she stopped feeling that way of oh, it's gonna be better when, he wants to come to the birthday parties or whatever. And I think that shift happened very organically, and it was something that she came to on her own. No one could really teach her how to do that or instruct her. She had to figure it out. And
Yeah.
I think that's part of what this is all about, is trial and error and falling on your face in co-parenting, you know, just like not really knowing how to do it and figuring it out as you go.
And it's always changing. Like,
Yeah.
that's another principle that I love to really ground into, is that everything is impermanent and everything is changing. So
Yes.
Yeah.
as soon as you get to one thing, something else is going to happen, and some other shift is going to happen within all the dynamics of humanity, of we're
like
people.
Buddhism, this too
Yeah.
shall pass.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Whether it's good,
Or
bad,
not,
ugly,
yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah.
it's like, and I think when it's good, you go, okay, I'm going to enjoy this. And that
Yeah.
positive energy
Yes.
does a lot. When it's cruddy, you go, okay, this
Yeah.
is what is, but I
And you
can,
know it's gonna pass.
I can flow with it.
Right.
Another thing when we were chatting earlier, just when we were catching up, is you mentioned that, you'll never close the door of a hope that it looks a certain way.
Right.
And I think that's important too, because where Jamie and I are now, like, we're going to go to dinner with her boyfriend and Shayden and his girlfriend and Landon and his girlfriend. There was a time, and I think most people go through this, I couldn't even see that happening.
Yeah.
So being able to flow with it, to accept it, but then also just to keep that open and just know you don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Even your desires for what you want will shift over time. So you think you want this, and then it happens, and you're like, well, I'm just gonna be on this adventure of life and try to, show up with love. When you can reach that point of stopping trying to control the outcome, it's just like it's like a big weight off your shoulders,
Yeah.
Aren't these gals amazing? I freaking love you.
We love you too.
So one of the things that hit me so much, like when I spent some time with them, and I even witnessed it today. Paul gets home, and we're going to talk about Paul. Paul is your co-parent, and they start making dinner, but just the way you work together. So your experience with Paul, and you said this in your documentary too, everyone's just different.
Yeah.
And you respect that space, you respect their experience. Paul's like it was a different flow. Do you want to talk about
Sure,
your
yeah.
co-parenting journey with Paul?
Yeah, I think the dynamic that he and I have now, I know it's hard to hear, but we were pretty much the same married as we are now. So the friendship and connection
In
is
all the right
same.
ways.
In all the right ways,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not
we
all
didn't-
the ways.
I'm
not all.
the one with the wedding ring and the shared bed, so I'm
Yes.
fine.
Right.
Which
yes.
is part of the right way, yeah?
Yes. But the idea that like we parent well together.
Yeah.
And we said it on the documentary too, just that we didn't ever feel like, we didn't want our kids to really feel the rupture of the divorce. We wanted them to feel like as cohesive as possible.
Yeah.
And be on the co-parenting train together, keeping in mind that our parents who were divorced, he and I came from divorced families, that there was experience there that we didn't enjoy as children. And so we wanted it to be different for our kids. The co-parenting handbook for us, we kind of created one. And I mean, now, he lives here with us and I know it's not forever,
I don't know if we mentioned that, but he lives here right now.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
been here a year. And
He's in there making dinner right
Yes.
now, getting the kids fed.
yeah, and
It takes a village.
It does take a
We have
village.
7.
It does. It takes a village, exactly. And I think for me, what I've been able to witness throughout this too is just that when you can be on the same page as far as parenting goes, and we're in the thick of it. We've got teenagers and tweenagers and a 10-year-old and so there's just so
And an
many
8-year-old.
and an 8-year-old. There's so many dynamics that go into it.
Yes.
And it's hard to do it on your own,
Yeah.
and like
Yes.
you feel like when you're divorced, you're a single parent. Even if you're in a relationship with someone, there's this tandem parenting effect.
When you each have your own kids.
Right. Because
Yes.
because
lot.
I like behavioral
Yeah.
management wise, I don't want to come in and be bossing your kids around. I want them to feel like I'm the net positive in their life. You
Yeah.
know, I want them to feel love from me. And yes, I think there's some things that, of course, like, hey, everyone, go wash your hands or let's sit down for dinner kind of thing. But when it comes to like serious behavioral managing, it's better for the biological parent to do it so they don't feel rupture with the step parent. And that's what works for us. And it maybe doesn't work for everyone. But when it comes to Paul and when he's here, because he is dating too, so he's not always around. But when he is here, it's nice to know that there is that other voice that they can bounce ideas off of, and it's not
Yes.
all on me.
Yes.
And then I will say too that he's also been a net positive for the blondies, Sal's kids, because there's that male figure in the home who is like, dominant and dad's voice,
Yes.
kind of
It's
thing.
it's a different voice,
It
and
is.
it makes different chemicals in
It
the brain
definitely
sometimes.
does.
Yeah.
It definitely does. And it's not
I don't
forever.
know.
It's not forever.
I disagree with this.
Okay.
Because I am, close to non-binary.
True.
Yes.
And I bring masculine and feminine qualities.
And maybe that's what I think
And
that's what
I
you're touching
feel
on too.
like-
It's just that energy. So
It's
having
that
a little
energy.
bit more of that,
Yeah.
that
More of
yang.
the masculine.
Is it the yang?
It's
There
the
we
yang.
go.
And it's so helpful for me because my boys are at a stage where the teen and tween, they're so confrontational and they're at that phase of like, they know everything, you know.
Yes.
Teenage boys, it's
Helicopter.
helicopter. It's
And
a
I
vibe.
and I definitely can behavioral manage them.
See
They
the
trust me
lecture.
by now. We've been together since they were tiny babies.
I know. But I do feel bad when they're not kind to her, right? So it's easier for me to have him come in than it is to have
This
her.
is a
and
great
then-
conversation to show it's complicated
It
and
is
messy and there's
complicated.
so many dynamics.
Yes.
But as long as the foundation is love and like that you're willing to be like teachable and you're willing to pivot, because literally I feel like every month it's like, oh, this kid's dealing with a new thing, or I have this thing going at work, or this dynamic shift. So it's like you have to be so flexible. You have to have a lot of empathy and like what is it, grace? I don't like that word.
Yeah,
but
just like flexibility.
for yourself and for all the kids and for everything, you know, because it's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure. Yeah, totally.
Do you see why I wanted you guys to meet these gals? I love it so much. But yeah, I'll have to come out another time too, and we can do some stuff.
We would love it.
I'm gonna get some shopping because I have a date tomorrow.
Hey!
And I don't have any clothes, like
Oh my
nothing.
God.
So
That's
we're gonna
fun.
find something,
Can't
So
wait for you.
something sexy.
You'll have to talk to me about
Yes,
that.
I will let
Hey,
you know. But I love you guys.
Love you.
Love you
Hug.
too.
Thank you for sharing your wisdom.
Happy
And,
for you. Congratulations on
Thank you.
coming out.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Welcome to the club.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Let's
so
go dance at the Pink Pony.
Sal
Club,
is
huh?
like a coach for co-parenting, a coach for like
out.
religious trauma,
Yeah.
coming out, a coach for authenticity. And legit, you
Thanks.
feel these ladies like I'm still vibrating from the first time we met, and it just gets better. So I love you guys
the
so
best.
much.
Thank
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
We love you too.
See ya.